Could I do an intelligence check on here?
Sure, yeah, go for it.
I think I know what it might be. Oh.
Apparently, your character is confident.
Yeah.
I mean,
You
she
know it.
is a wizard. She's well educated.
Kristi, do you think you actually know it?
I think I know it.
Okay. Do you want to guess?
It might be bodies of water? Oceans?
So, Kristi, that's not the answer I have, but if you can justify it to me effectively, I'll let it work.
Okay, so... No, wait.
Two eyes. Oh gosh, what is it again?
Two bodies, both joined as one. Two bodies. What other kind of body is there? This is usually how riddles work, right? Some word that means two things, and you have to think about it the other way?
Yes, double meanings, double entendres,
The
synonyms.
more still is, the quicker it runs. Two bodies are they?
As Gamma's just kind of like scratching his head like,
I think I know the roundabout way of what it is, but I just can't... I don't know. Might be, rivers? No?
Not a bad answer. Two bodies you have that split up, that will run down and eventually become one. The higher they are, the faster it runs.
Yeah, the more still they stand, the faster it runs.
Like, I'm thinking of a mountain here.
What? Stand stills but runs. We all agree it's something to do with flowing.
I have heard of these particular enchanted ice boxes, which, when they are running, it does in fact stand still.
I don't think that's quite the answer. It might be a little bit more newer age for the statue. I hope we're not being timed, or our sand is going to run thin.
Oh, and just a light bulb hits her for a moment. I've got it. It's an hourglass.
An hour? Oh.
Yeah. The whole bodies thing just made me kind of trip up for a moment and think of water.
That does make a lot of sense. Well, if we are wrong, well, at least our strongest will say the wrong answer. Gamma, if you please.
Mr. Kitty, is it hourglass?
That is correct. And this last riddle is most important of all. Heed it well, or surely you'll fall. Listen now, if you want to live. What must you keep after you give?
Motions for another, like...
Huddle.
Huddle up.
Yep.
These riddles are simply beyond me. I'm sorry I can't be of too much assistance here.
Well, I thought I was being so clever with the first one. But then again, I thought that was the only one, so I only needed to use my cleverness once.
What do you keep when you give? Ares is going to, in the huddle, kind of whisper, well, obviously when you give, you keep your hands with what you gave. I'm feeling hands is the answer. Or is it? I don't know.
Listen now if you want to live. Well, I do want to live.
Could it be your word?
Could it be your heart? Because you can give someone your heart. Metaphorically.
Huh. Hmm.
What about a promise?
That seems reasonable.
Hmm.
Oh.
Your word, your promise, maybe?
That does sound like... Why don't you say?
Steps back a little.
Mr. Kitty, would it be a promise and or your word?
That is correct. Well done, adventurers. You may go through. You've proven your worth. Good luck to you. And the cat steps back, sits down, folds its tail over its paws, and closes its eyes. And there is a succession of 3 clicks, and the door swings open.
Gamma's gonna ponder for a moment to see if he can take the cat with him.
That was a interesting type of lock.
Well, no wonder not many adventurers made it this far.
Yes, none of them were quite as clever as all of you.
Gamma's gonna motion up to hold his hand out. Amzi, what is that you do in celebration with your hand again?
I give you a high five.
Ah, yes. High five.
Yep. Metal clink high five. Hells yeah.
Oh, that looks
Nice.
joyous.
It is. Give you a high five too.
And yeah, Paris gives a high five.
Hope just raises her hand just to join in.
Oh yeah, totally. High fives for everyone. Well, shall we go in?
Yes. Gamma will take the lead once again.
Same marching order?
Yeah.
Cautious for traps. Always cautious for traps.
Always cautious.
Okay. You start walking, and there is a sudden change in the stone. This is smooth and looks almost carved out, and there are little symbols, maybe? Does anyone speak Celestial?
Yes.
There are a variety of blessings, or prayers, all addressed apparently to the same deity, judging by the context, probably the Steinbjorn. But it's weird. It looks like someone has tried to scratch them out. And as you walk down this part of the cavern, it continues to curve gently to the right and down and down. And you walk 10 minutes, 20 minutes. And then you hear something. Distantly, you hear the dripping of water.
Is there a underground river here, or a pond?
No one
of some
mentioned
sort?
one.
Hmm.
Or perhaps this whole thing is a leaky bucket.
Gamma's gonna laugh at that.
Paris is going to put his ear to the wall and just listen if there's anything, any other sounds coming from perhaps surrounding the cave, or if it's see if it's coming from down the cave.
Make a perception check.
Oh, 9. Not much.
The dripping is too loud. Maybe there is, but you can't make it out.
I can't quite pinpoint where this is coming from.
Well, it sounds like it's coming from all around us.
Is it something to be concerned about? Perhaps we should continue on?
Let's continue on, but be cautious. Lucy, Gamma wants to be extra cautious of his footing. If the ground's kind of soaked in water, or if there's a chance that it's very wet or damp, he doesn't want his footing to give way.
Okay, probably a good call, because the longer you walk, the more puddles start to form, and water starts to drip down the edges of the cavern, and it gets cold. And eventually you start to feel a freezing breeze coming towards you. Finally, at long last, after another half an hour of walking, you reach a cavern. There's no warning. Just one step, you're in the tunnel, and in the next, you're in a massive space. The ceiling vanishes into the darkness above you. The walls are riddled with holes and juts of rock. Stalactites hang from the hidden ceiling like teeth, and the occasional pillar of stone soars into the shadows. The floor is uneven, pockmarked with stone craters, and water drips down the walls, echoing around the area and collecting in shallow pools. Great gouges have been ripped from the stone walls, sending piles of rock shards to the floor around the perimeter. There are splashes of blood flung across the floor and spattered on the walls. One kind long dry, the other still oozing and black. On the far wall, you see it, curled up like a small mountain with the occasional rumbling snore. It's the Steinbjorn. It's like nothing you've ever seen before. It's a bear, but at least 20 feet tall. The fur is stone gray, flecked with silver, thick and shaggy. It must be a majestic animal in its prime, but now it looks wrong. There's something faded about its edges, and its breathing is so slow and labored. For a moment, it looked completely still. Okay, you'll have a choice now. I need you to make either a medicine check or a perception check. So tell me what you're rolling and what you got.
Okay. Ooh, I got an 8 on perception.
Gamma got a 19 on perception.
I'm gonna just say 7 on medicine.
7 on medicine?
Yeah.
I got 11 on medicine.
Paul, something about this rings a bell in Ambrosio's mind, but there's so much happening, so many riddles, you just can't make the connection. Gamma, you hear something. You don't know what it is. It reminds you of syrup for some reason. Would anyone like to do something?
I would like to stealth toward the bear.
And actually, before anybody leaves this area, I would like to cast Pass Without a Trace.
Okay,
Ooh.
Paul, make a stealth check.
As that's kind
And
of
add 10 to
happening, Gamma wants to remind everyone, remember the Bushka is a parasite monster. It could be living within the Steinbjorn.
Ah, yes. That is good to remember.
So add 10 to my stealth roll. 36.
Wow, all right. You just vanish. What are you going to do?
I'm at least going to let Gamma know through message that I am sneaking up toward the bear to get a better look.
Okay, Gamma, you notice after Pass Without a Trace is cast, something is shifting in the corners of the room. At first, you dismissed it as a trick of the light or just shadows. But no, something is moving.
I'm gonna just kind of take a very defensive action and do my best to follow it in the shadows. So if it tries to lunge at any one of us, I'm gonna do my best to intercept it.
Okay. Paul, are you going to the Steinbjorn or are you going somewhere else?
I'm going to the Steinbjorn.
All right. As you reach it, it soars above you like a massive boulder, and you tilt your head back to see it, and its fur glitters like frost, even in the dim light. What would you like to do?
Since I'm closer to it now, would like to give it just look at it, see if there's like anything from this close that I could physically see what's wrong with it.
Sure. Give me a perception check or investigation.
Investigation. It's not going to be good as that 36, but 21.
Nice. Now that you're closer, you can feel the cold is radiating off this thing's fur. And there is that same black, oozy blood spattered across its flank, mixed in with flaking, dry crimson. You this close and the creature this large, you can just hear its heartbeat. The gaps between beats are so long, you can't believe this thing is still alive. Gamma, as you approach, it's like a video game with graphics that aren't quite up to snuff. There's a lag between your light landing on a place and the shadow withdrawing. Kristi, sorry, totally blanked. Make a perception check for me.
All right.
Ooh. You feel a chill run down your spine. Gamma, it's you who hears it. Up in the far corner, up by the ceiling where everything is completely black, there's a scrape of something on the stone. And you turn to look. And there you see it. This must be the Bushka. Imagine if Tim Burton had to draw a bear based solely on verbal description, then had a nightmare about that drawing. This is worse. Its legs are long and spindly, but its shoulders are hulking, and it has far, far too many teeth. Its eyes gleam from their sunken position in its skull, and wisps of darkness curl off its hazy form. The unnatural black shadows around you writhe as it oozes down from the ceiling, tightening like manacles around the still figure of the Steinbjorn. Everyone roll initiative.
Please remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe.